So
Well,
what's
go
next
ahead.
for Hirax? I don't think you've done. Is Immortal Legacy the last recording that you've?
Yeah, that was the last one. See, that's the other problem, like with Hirax, and we've done pretty good for a band who puts out records like every 4 or 9 years. But now there's good stuff in the works. Like, it's funny, all that stuff ends up being who you are at the, later on in life. So everything that we've done up until this point has helped. It's been like a kind of like setting up dominoes, but hopefully they don't all fall. But you're slowly setting up pieces in its place. And the new record's going to be great because it's, for one, we're hungry after 3 years of what we just went through.
Yeah.
We already were hungry before that, but if you put 3 years of pressure and craziness and sadness and happiness and sadness and happiness into a blender, that's basically what the new record's going to be. I'm sure a lot of bands could say that, but I've had a lot of time to think about stuff and how I want to do it. Sure. all the way down to the artwork. Certain artists I'm already in touch with, which some of it gets scary because some of these guys are pricey, but you want your art to be killer, all that stuff. And the songs, I want them to be memorable, like not just get the production right, but I want there to be more riffs. Because, like when you listen to a lot of records, you got these guys doing riffs, but how many do you really remember?
Right.
That would be just, even going back to our old roots, whether it be Ronnie Montrose or Billy Gibbons, there's got to be more licks, more riffs, even if it's metal.
Well, one of my favorite riffs of all time, as far as thrash metal goes, is Chemical Warfare. It's one note. It's one note.
Incredible.
But you never forget it because it's a pattern. I call it Morse code. Right?
We should next time we do this.
And then the kick drums play the riff.
That's because Dave's incredible. That's just very creative drumming, and Dave's always had that. That dude's a special, special person, man. Like, there's not too many octopuses out there that play drums like that,
Right. Yeah. So did you know? And you probably know that Gene Hoglan was holding down the kick drums.
Yeah.
When they recorded that.
Gene was there early, man. He really was. He was like the younger dude, but he was there. Don't get me wrong. And he really changed Dark Angel once he came in. Yeah. Was able to showcase what he could do, because he's not just a drummer. I mean, I think the Darkness Descends and the next record's mostly him writing after a while.
Yeah, he wrote lyrics and wrote guitar riffs and might have even played rhythm guitar.
Yeah, that's where he's a bit like Neil Peart. He's a bit like that guy.
Or Charlie Benante.
Yeah, Charlie's incredible too. Like, everybody has different feelings about Anthrax, but if you get down to the drumming on that band, that dude is a master.
Well, he's writing the riffs too.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah.
But Gene, man, I'm actually so happy for that guy. Like, he's done what he's wanted to do. He's doing it his way. He's actually really too smart. A lot of people don't realize how smart Gene is. He's ridiculously smart.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and
he's got Dark Angel full time now. And they just announced some shows. They're finally playing in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm glad for that. I mean, I think it's kind of like that whole thing, like with Metallica. Like, at least you got Megadeth out of it, Like with Gene, he might have left Testament, but he left him on a high note. And he's also getting back to, he knows. Also, it's kind of his thing. Like, if you look at Dark Angel, and I love Jim Durkin's like one of my best friends. Love that guy.
Awesome. Yeah, I love
the guy who pretty much is now Dark Angel is pretty much Gene, so he's got to run it his way, and I get that. Like, after a while, when you've been doing this for a while, you can work with a lot of people, but all of us kind of got a little bit of a dick side to us. Like, you've been doing this for a while, like, you should do it your way all the way to the end. I mean, I'm not.
Well, it's not really like it's not like a rough, like a dick. You're not a dick if you're talking with your heart.
Yeah.
So
I think some people take it the wrong way, because I've seen over the years, even me as a singer, people sometimes get the wrong idea because you're in charge of a lot of shit that nobody else wants to be in charge of.
Right.
Whenever you're the guy that's got to go deal with the business side of things, that's when you've got to be hard, because if you don't, you get screwed.
Right.
But everybody understands that. If they're the one that has to collect the money or make sure the band gets taken care of, where everybody gets to sleep comfortably and travel comfortably. You have to be a little bit of a hard person to deal with all that, because there's people that don't want to give you sometimes what you're supposed to get.
That's right.
Just being honest. I mean, it's not rock star shit at all, man. It's really
it's
survival
management.
It's just survival.
It's human stuff. Like being in a band is a lot, man. It's a lot of making sure everybody's heads are in the right place. Is everybody healthy? Is nobody tripping on drugs? All these different things that do matter in being a band. So
you don't want to get to the gig and say, "Where's the bass player?"
Yeah, I mean, I have to get all our guys together. That's enough as it is, So. Right. I mean, it's something that we love, and that's why we're still doing it. And we go through all the hard stuff that nobody ever sees behind the scenes. They think it's all beautiful, and there's a lot of stinky vans and buses and hotel rooms where there's not enough rooms for everybody. So sometimes guys got to crash 2 on a bed,
Yeah.
But we do it because we love the music, and it's not a big deal that people don't know all this stuff, but we're just being honest about it, and that's why talking to you guys. You guys get it because you've been around and you see how it works,
Let's talk about the Hirax logo. I'm so glad you still use that. How did you, so Dave may know, he may not, Tom G. Warrior created that logo for you. How did you, I mean, Dave, when you think about or look at the Hirax logo, and then you look at the Celtic Frost logo.
Yeah, I can see it. The twisted letters that are all kind of gnarled.
The thorns.
Yeah.
The thorns. Yeah. That's 100% Tom Warrior.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, the thing about him, he's just a fucking awesome dude. It almost kind of freaks me out. He's so cool because I see how well he does and how he carries himself and how he's done his own stuff. Like, the dude is a triple, fourple, fifple threat. Like, he can draw, he can write lyrics, he can put songs together, he can record. He has a thing that he's been doing for a long time, and you can see it in his work. Like, I have a lot of respect for him. So just over the years, it was just the beginning of, I loved his band. He liked us a lot. We would be tape trading, which brought a lot of us together. And he said, I want to help promote your band. And I'm like, that's insane. So whatever he needed, he wanted photos. I go to the post office and mail them out, And so he had this letter that he used to send out called, it was Prowling Death Management, where he promoted Hellhammer and Celtic Frost and Hirax. And he had a couple other bands. I think one was called Messiah. Yeah, Messiah was one of the other bands. And he had something else like Drifter or something.
That's another Zurich band.
Yeah, dude. Now you're really showing your nerd colors, dude.
Well, I wore a Drifter shirt in a Watchtower promo photo.
So, that's insane.
Yeah,
I love that stuff. Yeah. So he I sent him the first Hirax demo, 4-song demo, and he goes, I love the demo, but I hate your logo. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, he writes back, he goes, do you mind if I design a logo? I'm like, go for it. Because back then we were still really young and we hadn't really gotten to where we're at now. So like, it was a different time where he was a younger musician. Yeah. And he's a fan too. Like even Tom G. Warrior is a fan, people. So that's what makes him so good. Like even him as an artist, his taste in music blows me away. Like he brings up funk music and stuff that, some guys won't admit to liking. And I love that. I like a lot of funk myself. And I think that it helps you as a musician to even listen to that music because there's stuff going on that you'll pick up and go, I could probably do that in metal and it would sound killer because Eddie Van Halen's done a damn good job at throwing funk into some of them Van Halen tracks.
Yeah. Well, ZZ Top is funk. Led Zeppelin is funk. And no one realized that. And when you say that, they might even get mad at you. And they go, you tell me that you
yeah, John Bonham.
That's funk.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and ZZ Top, that's all funk.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's funky, man. That's ripping funk.
And we were lucky because in the 70s we had access to that because also a lot of those records were on the same label as Kiss. Yeah. So you could buy some funky stuff in Casablanca, but you could also get your Kiss records too. And that's why Parliament, a lot of people love Parliament. And there's a reason for that because they were great and they were theatrical. Yeah. But at the core of it, those songs, if you go through those records on Casablanca, those first like 4, back to the 4 or 5 record thing, but Parliament, Funkadelic, come on.
Yeah.
Great songs and great, like, just delivery and lyrical approach and talking over certain parts. They were amazing, you know.
I feel like a lot of the bands that were on Casablanca shared wardrobe.
And stage props. I bet you some of those props flipped around. It was Parliament props, and then it was Kiss props.
Yeah, exactly. Spray painted a different color and then send it to another band.
And those bands were promoted pretty good, because I remember there being big ass Parliament posters, just like the Kiss posters. I remember all of them. You know?
Yeah.
And so for me, even back to Hirax, I want to get back to what we've been doing, but also more hardcore. Because like when you would buy a record, remember what you used to get inside of those Kiss records, like Love Gun?
Yeah.
That was insane. So throwing some stuff like that in there, just I want to make it a really good experience when you open up the record.